Kai. He is actually based in our Dubai office. I'm just going to play this video to you all.
Playing competitive sports while growing up in Germany and the US taught me to bring my A game to whatever I do. I wanted to start my career in a role where hard work and delivering results were rewarded. I knew I found my match when I joined AlphaSights. My workday starts on my commute, checking client emails. Once I'm in the office, we kick things off with a team meeting. I work on multiple client projects with tight deadlines and priorities constantly changing. I really have to be on top of my game with multitasking. This is Kai from AlphaSights here. How are you doing? Hey Emily, this is Kai at AlphaSights. Kai from AlphaSights here. I spend a lot of the day on the phone speaking to senior executives whose expert insights help my clients make more informed business decisions. Once I have found the best experts, I share a shortlist with my client and get the project call scheduled. I work to my clients' deadlines, which means keeping an eye on my projects also after office hours. Does success come easily here? No. It takes resilience, grit, and doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Looking forward to working together on this project. But I love taking ownership, owning my business skills, and delivering results. I'm Kai, and what excites me the most? Taking charge of my career and achieving success for my clients and myself.
Great. Hope you all enjoyed the video. So it's just like more a quick glance of how we work on a daily basis as a client server associate here. Great. So since we're going to spend a bit of time together today, I'm going to introduce myself a bit. So my name is Amanda. Nice to meet you all. I'm the senior associate talent acquisition associate here at AlphaSights Hong Kong. A quick bit about my background. So I studied psychology back in Durham in the UK, and then I went to do my master's degree at University of Leeds for organizational psychology degree. So if any one of you here studying psychology or business, we might have something in common. And then after graduating, I actually worked in another company about a year and a half, and then it was a great starting point. Back then, I was really craving for more challenges and then like more exposure to the talent acquisition field. And then AlphaSights actually approached me. They told me that they are going to give me quite a lot of projects to work on, and then like being able to help me to build my like presence in the talent acquisition field too. So I joined AlphaSights, and it's been like 2.5 years now. I'm really excited to share that I'm now like a current like senior associate here. And then what really sold me on staying here at AlphaSights was the chance to work on like diverse projects and then also get involved in like amazing events. And just like this one, I'm sharing a bit more about AlphaSights to you all. Now you might be wondering like why we are going to have this talk for you all, but you might have already a general idea of what we are going to cover. But basically for this recruitment talk, I'm going to tell you a bit more about like AlphaSights itself, the opportunity that is available here. And then also like if you are interested in joining AlphaSights, what are some recruitment tips that I can give as a talent acquisition team member here. And then we will have like a quick Q&A session at the end in case you have any questions and then anything that I did not cover that you want to ask in this session. Great. So to start with, let's talk a bit more about the growing history of AlphaSights. So AlphaSights was actually founded back in 2008 in London by Max and Andrew, these two gentlemen. And then after we started in London with 50 colleagues, I guess, you can see that we keep on growing. And then till now, we have 9 different global offices around the globe. And then we have around 2,000 employees. In our Hong Kong office, we actually have 170 associates now. And then, it's actually quite a huge achievement growing the business into this big in just like few years' time. Great. So basically for AlphaSights, what we do here is contacting our clients with industry experts directly. What we do here is like facilitating the one-on-one communication to obtain more like personalized, specialized knowledge that goes beyond what you can find online. Then our clients can make a more informed decision. So this is why our mission is to unlock human knowledge and power success. And then before jumping into more about like the business itself, I'm going to tell you a bit more about like who are our clients, like who will be using our service. So at AlphaSights, we have 4 major types of clients, which will be private equity firms, capital markets, consultancies, and also like corporations. So just a quick question to you all here. Do you happen to know what is private equity firm? Maybe someone can unmute themselves and then like tell me a bit more like what do you know about a private equity firm? Is there any brave souls? Anyone?
Yeah. So private equity is an investment model where, investors buy ownership stakes in private businesses or public companies, and their goal is to actually improve these companies and sell them after, a while, earning a profit over them.
Exactly. This is exactly what a private equity firm do. Thank you so much for answering this. And then basically for us, we work with top private equity firms and then help them to identify like potential deals with our knowledge resources and expert networks. When they are doing due diligence, they are presenting to their investor, they need industry knowledge. So that's why for AlphaSights, then we will help them to find the right industry experts to fill the knowledge gap. And then we also work with capital markets, those who invest in public markets, including hedge funds, mutual funds, pension funds, and also investment banks. And then for consulting company, we actually work with top 3 management consultancies. And I believe there are quite a lot of people that will think that we are a consulting firm, but it's really important to note that we actually operate quite differently from consulting firms. So basically for AlphaSights, what we do here is to help our clients to find the industry experts, and then the industry experts will be the one to deliver the knowledge to the client. For consulting company, the in-house consultant will be the one to provide solution to their clients. So it's more like helping them to solve the business problem directly. But then for us, we are helping them to find the right person to address the knowledge gap. So this is how we different from consulting company. And really want you guys to like take a note of that, and then like being mindful that we are actually not a consulting firm. And then lastly, we work with 1 in 5 Fortune 500 corporation across all sectors. So to summarize, our P and CAP clients need to fill the knowledge gap in order to like progress their decision cycle. For consulting clients, they will need the knowledge to inform and contribute to their research. Then in turn allows them to deliver a thorough and evidence-driven recommendation to their own client. And then for corporations, then they will need like highly specialized insight to help them to make a more strategic progress in certain business area. So this is the 4 major types of clients that we work with here in AlphaSights. So what does a client server associate actually do here in AlphaSights? So basically for AlphaSights, we hire for one specific role, which is the client server associate role. From the name itself, you can already tell it's more like client-based role. In simple terms, the role is being the bridge between the client and the industry experts. So you as a client server associate will be serving as the forefront, engaging with client, and identifying the experts and connecting these 2 parties on a daily basis. Because you are managing all these kind of critical connections from start to finish, you are directly driving the revenue and your performance, and then basically have a direct impact on our company's success. A typical day of a client server associate will be involving like juggling multiple projects at once. You'll be the one taking full ownership of each project, making strategic decisions to guide it from the initial client request all the way to a successful connections. So as you can see from the screen, it's very straightforward. You are being in the middle between the client and the industry experts. And then how does it differ from a very traditional consulting firm or a professional service firm? So in a very typical professional firm, the manager or partner is the one who meets the clients. They will be the one to take the brief. They will be the one managing the relationship. The more junior team member, they will be the one often spending their time on the background, doing research, building decks. But at AlphaSights, we flip that model on its head. Our associates actually are not in the back office. They are on the commercial front line from day one. So you are the one directly interacting with our top tier clients and global industry experts, usually will be the leaders in their industry. So they might be like CEOs, CFO, directors. And then for our own VPs and managers, they are more in a position of guiding you, helping you to navigate challenge, building the client relationship. So I would say for the associate, basically at AlphaSights, you will be the one to hit the ground running and then taking all the ownership of driving the commercial impact from day one. Great. Sorry that I forgot to press the slides. And yeah, so moving on, I would just like make this real for you guys because it's quite vague for just talking about like what is the client server associate role doing. I would just walk you through maybe a case that we will do it in AlphaSights. So I'm just going to walk through you a project timeline using an example of a bubble tea industry. I believe all of you here know what is boba. I probably drink one too. But this will actually show you the pace, the ownership, and then the problem solving that defines a day in the life of an associate. So let's say you receive an urgent client request at 4:07, and then the client sends you an email saying like, oh, I actually want to understand a bit more about the boba tea market in Malaysia and China, and I would like to get 5 expert calls scheduled for the next week. So the clock is ticking. Your first task is actually to decode exactly what the client really needs quickly. What is the precise knowledge gap that they are trying to fill? Then after clarifying with the clients and get more context from them, the next step is actually to screen the experts. So you'll use like a variety of methods to find the relevant experts, including like looking for our existing experts in our database, and then custom source those experts on various online platforms like LinkedIn. And then once you find expert, you will personally vet them, like doing a call with them to try to see whether they are the right fit and whether they are the right person to speak about the topics that interest your client. So you can do that by asking probing questions. And then by 4:18 p.m.-ish, you acknowledge the client request and begin like conducting system searches and custom LinkedIn searches. So some probing questions that you can ask your experts will be like maybe the market size and growth. How has the bubble tea market in China and Malaysia grown over the last 12 months? What is your base case outlook for the next 12 months? Or maybe something like key cost drivers. How are input costs such as like tea, fruit, packaging trending? And then where are the main bottlenecks or risks that were there in the supply chain? So there are so many questions that you can ask the experts depending on what the client is looking into to identify whether they are the right fit. Because even though you find their profile on website or like LinkedIn or in our internal system, their profiles might be outdated, or they actually don't have the knowledge themselves, but then they just put it on their profile. So we actually have to personally vet each of them and then make sure that they have the right knowledge to talk with our client. So yeah, basically this is the 2 experts. And then following the screening is basically the, sorry, just give me one second, the initial delivery. So you will just present to the client and then say like, hey, I actually find this kind of experts. Would you want to set up a call between you and the industry experts? But sometimes the client will actually say like, hey, you know what, I'm no longer interested in, let's say, China market anymore. I just want to focus on exclusively on the Malaysian bubble tea companies. So this means that the proposed experts is no longer relevant. Only one of them is relevant, because earlier I forgot to press the slides, but basically we find 2 experts. One is like Tea Alive from Malaysia, and then one is Mixue Bingcheng from China. So given that the clients changed their brief, so you are no longer going to talk with the Mixue Bingcheng one, but it's more like focusing on the Tea Alive one. And then because the client is looking for more than one expert, then you have to go again and then look for different kind of industry experts to address the Malaysian bubble tea industry knowledge gap. Yeah, so the key things that I want to highlight in this slide is more like because being an associate here is really important that you need to adapt to all this kind of challenges and sudden situation happening in AlphaSights. There will be so many occasions that the client suddenly change their brief. The experts suddenly say that, oh, I actually don't want to do the call anymore. So there will be so many situations that you need to handle on the spot. So it's really important that you can adapt to like changing client brief and overcome this kind of challenges on a daily basis. Great. So we will just focus on the Malaysian market. And then next, then after initial delivery and potentially like pivoting as needed along the way, the next stages will be the interaction and ongoing delivery. So as an associate, you will be the one managing the client and express interactions. This means that once the client confirms that your express is a good fit, they want to move forward, then you need to proactively schedule the calls and reschedule them as needed. There will be chance that the client suddenly back out and say like, oh, I actually don't have time for it. I need to do it next week. Or the expert will do that to you as well. So you need to reschedule it as needed. Yeah, so from the case itself, then you schedule a call between your live experts, and then now you continue source for new experts, and then to adapt to the new brief. And then now that you have found 10 highly relevant experts, and then email the clients to pitch them. So you have to pitch the experts, because not the client is not going to take all the experts that you fed to them. You have to pitch them to make it sure that, oh, this expert is actually going to cover what you want. And then would you want to do a call with the client? So after maybe the client read through the briefs, through the summary of the experts, then they might say like, oh, actually 8 of them is a right fit, so I'm going to schedule 8 calls with them for the next week. Then lastly, you actually, yes, I think someone has a question.
Yeah, I just had a question. So the client actually has asked for 5 experts, right? Initially, right?
Yeah.
And we provide we first provide the 2 experts which are very
Yeah.
relevant to it. So we don't collectively first combine a list of 5 and then send it. We just keep sending the client newer experts as we keep finding. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. So we will actually keep on going because sometimes even though the client themselves say like, I only want 5 experts, there might be times that they actually need more than that. So for us, because we will actually always go above and beyond, so we will actually suggest more to them, and then just to make sure that they can secure what they need, and then potentially maybe even extend more calls like at the ending stage. So that's why in this case, then we will pitch them like 10 profiles, and then they might select 8 of them is actually 3 plus more experts. So there will be times that the client will actually take more calls than what they requested at the beginning. Yeah, so hope that answers.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Great. Great question, by the way. And then, so basically, you will wrap up your project and then head out to meet some friends because it's like end of working hours. Then next, on the way home, you actually also will reply to your client saying that, oh, actually, like when I was working, there are some profiles, and then there are some additional information that I need to provide to you on email. So you can just draft a quick email and send to the client. And then like, basically that's how you're going to work on one specific project. And then you can close the loop by just connecting the clients with like 9 different experts. And then like you help the client to gain a whole chain of valuable insight. You are not just going to complete the project, but then like exceeded the expectation from them. And then I saw someone left a comment. Just give me 1 second. Could you please repeat the screening session, like how an associate find the industry expert? So yes, and then someone answered it. Thank you so much, Asha. So there will be so many ways that you can look for experts. We categorize into 2 ways. One is system sourcing and one is custom sourcing. So system sourcing is actually we reach out to the experts that have already worked with us before. So all those experts work with us before, we store them in our internal system. So we can just quickly search keywords about a specific industry, and then their profiles will pop up. So we can connect them and then do the vetting call with them. Again, we are not just going to send that profile even though they work with us before. Maybe we work with them like 2 years ago, they have like new experience, then their experience is gonna be different. So we have to vet them again. This is the first way to source experts. Another way is custom sourcing. So we will not rely on the system. We will actually go on different kind of platforms to look for that specific industry experts. The most common platform will be LinkedIn because it's more like a professional platform. Everyone put their experience there. But sometimes maybe you are working on a very niche market, let's say fishing market, then you probably cannot find the profiles on LinkedIn. Then you have to think of creative ways to look for them. And then depending on the projects that you're working on, there will be regional projects as well. If you are working on a Chinese market, then there will be dedicated platforms like Lieping, Boss, those kind of platforms, then you can look for that specific kind of expert. So this will be the 2 ways of looking for experts. And yeah, that's basically how we do it. Great. And then, okay, so going back to the slides. Okay, so once the project wraps up, right, then you have you help the client to connect the client with the industry experts. And then on the client side, they might actually give you feedback and say like, hey, actually, I really satisfied with what you found. I find it extremely helpful to progress my project. They are super impressed by what you did. And then they recommend you to their colleague, generating more business for AlphaSights and more projects for you. And for long-term impact, if this is more like an investment-related project, after a few months, you might actually notice the news that they have made a major acquisition based on the work your team did. So you can see the direct impact that you can drive. And then, yeah, basically this is the brief example of how a client server associate will work on the client's project. And then before we move on to the next slide, does any one of you recall when did we start this project?
In 2008?
Oh, I mean, like this specific project, what time did we start?
408.
Is our founding year.
408.
Hmm?
408. 408 p.m.
4:07, but yes, close that. But yeah, that's we start at 4:07. So you can notice that actually the fit around timeline is quite quick. It's within like few hours time, you already help your clients to secure a few experts already. This is something that you might not be expecting in other companies because the project timeline usually lasts longer, especially maybe for a consulting company, their project lasts for months, lasts for weeks, and even like years. So for AlphaSights, average turnaround timelines would just be 48 to 72 hours, like on average. Sometimes few hours, maybe sometimes there will be bigger project lasting for a week, but then you can foresee that at AlphaSights, the timeline is quite fast paced. And then as a client server associate, you really need to know that you will constantly working on a very fast-paced environment, high impact, and also you will actually see the rewards, like see the impact that you've made when you work on this kind of projects. Yeah, so let me check if there's anyone left any notes just now. Can you give example of creative ways of sourcing experts? To be honest, like I'm not the client server associate, but from what I learned is that sometimes if it's like a more academic focus, I believe more some of you are students here, and then you can actually go to some research paper. Because I left school for a while already, I'm not too sure whether you address that as research paper, but basically the paper that you read. And then you can look for the professor names there. You can go to like university centers. Like there's usually like a list of employers there, like the professor there. You can go for that kind of platform and look for their contacts. So this would be one creative way that I can think of, and then I heard from the client server associate team themselves talking about it, but there will be lots of different ways that you can find experts. And then it's really important for you to be creative as well, because sometimes if you're really working on a very, 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 very niche market, then you probably cannot find them on LinkedIn, and then you probably might get stuck. And then at that time, you have to be creative and try to think about different angle where this expert will like appear on, and then where can I find those kind of information, and try to think outside of the box and then try to find that specific industry experts. Great. So any other questions before I move on to the next slide? Yeah. Okay, yes, there is. Hi.
Hi, is it me?
Yes, you, Asha.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the clients. So I just wanted to confirm, which clients do we reach out to first, like in-house database or outside clients? Because there's already also a factor of credibility, because if we are reaching out to someone new, we don't know if the work ethics that he follows are going to be exactly aligns to the client's need.
Yeah. So you mean like reaching out to experts, right? Like as in whether we prioritize custom or system sourcing. So I would say definitely from a company angle, then custom sourcing will be better because we want to attract as many like new experts as possible. But then in terms of speed, actually system sourcing will be a quicker way in terms of like helping the because we already have the profile here, and then we probably have like interaction notes here, like we will jot notes about like that specific interaction, and then basically we can refer to that notes. So we can just set up the call right away. I mean, we still have to do vetting calls, but it's easier because we have all the contact details. But then every project is gonna be different. Sometimes even though you're working on the same industry, I'm thinking of something. Let's say I have a lipstick here. So if we are working on a lipstick industry, today they are maybe trying to find like and think about some new colors of the lipsticks. And then another project is working on, oh, I want to know a bit more about the packaging of lipsticks. Then it's two different angle. So the experts that speak about the colors of lipstick is not going to applicable to the packaging because it's completely two different things. So again, custom sourcing is always the priority because it's more dedicated to that specific client needs. So I would say if it's really urgent, then we'll try to utilize the system experts first. But if we actually cannot find anyone, then we will go for custom experts. Yeah. Okay, great. So Najib.
Yeah, so I just quickly had a question. I'm sorry if it might be again a bit client associated related. But like can you shed some light on how we use value chain in order to, you know, find experts?
Nah, that one I think I wouldn't be the best person to address that because I'm from the talent acquisition team, and then for the value chain one, then it's more like the client server associate duty to do it. And then basically this is also what we test in the second round interview, as in I'm going to cover it more later. Then probably I'm not the best person to address that. And then if you really want to know a bit more about it, I would suggest you to connect with someone on LinkedIn and set up coffee chats with the client server associate, and they will be able to give you more insight. But to be honest with you, I don't think they can share too much about it because at the end of the day, we are still going to like test you on that. There might be some session like available maybe later this year that will be like more dedicated to how you prep like projects and then how to break down the value chains. But yeah, I mean, to avoid me giving you misleading information, I'm not going to explain the value chain to you, just in case I give you any wrong information and like mislead you.
All right.
So yeah, I would suggest you to actually reach out to some client server associate on LinkedIn. I think they will be more than happy to answer your questions as well. It's more technical related ones.
Okay.
Great. So for now, I would just stop answering the question and now we just address the question like maybe till the end of the Q&A session. I will just carry on with the next slides because we got quite a few things to cover. Great. So now that you have kind of seen how we work on project, let's talk a bit more about like why AlphaSights will be a great opportunity for you all. Basically, as an associate, you will have the chance to work on exciting projects, be at the forefront of our operation. One of the key advantages of being an associate at AlphaSights is the level of ownership that you can have here and the responsibility you will receive. Compared to other entry-level roles, you will enjoy greater exposure to experts, projects, and clients. This means that you will have immediate user, project, and also frontline commercial responsibility. Of course, like we don't expect you to know everything from day one, so we will provide you with dedicated training session. We will pair you up with one manager, one trainer, and then we will have like a shadowing session both on the desk and in one-on-one setting, just to make sure that you have all the necessary skills and knowledge to hit the ground running, and then develop your own best practice, and then also navigate any learning curves that you will encounter throughout your journey here in AlphaSights. Next will be basically working on our client service team. You will learn how to interact confidently with top-tier clients and senior executives. You will constantly face challenges, exposing yourself to like high-pressure situation. You will then achieve like a measurable success for your clients and yourself, and this will allow you to build a track record of achievement. Yeah. So the last one is one thing that I really want to highlight is that the accelerated career path. So at AlphaSights, the career path here is accelerated. After 24 to 30 months, you join AlphaSights, you will actually become a manager here. Then you will be managing a team. You will be responsible for managing your team performance, helping your associate to grow. And then after 3 years of being a manager, then you progress to a VP position. So basically, you will be running a multi-million-dollar book of business. So compared to lots of your peers that's starting their job somewhere else, this can be a very fast track program. Usually, I think it takes around 5 to 7 years to become manager. But here at AlphaSights, as a client server associate, you can already become a manager in just 2 years' time. And then you will gain experience in managing teams, delegating tasks, maintaining client relationship during your first few years at AlphaSights. So you can see the career path here, 2+ years, then manager. If you stay here for 5 years longer, then you will become VP. And then if you go beyond AlphaSights, this is not something that all the companies will cover. But basically at AlphaSights, if you want to go for an MBA program, we actually will provide financial support for that. We will provide like 70K USD dollars. So it's not in HKD, it's in USD. So that's actually a lot. Then we will provide like money for you to kind of go for your MBA program. And then unlike other companies, we don't have golden handcuff. What does it mean is that for other companies, it will actually ask you to come back to the company to work for them after the MBA. But then for AlphaSights, we don't have that. After you pursue your MBA, you can actually pursue other opportunities, start your own business, go for another role as well. And then if you choose to move beyond AlphaSights, our alumni have gone to like top companies as shown on the screen. I'm not going to read this out, but then basically this is also a very good achievement that we are really proud of. So if you're interested already, maybe we can take a look at our value to see whether they resonate with you. So here are the 5 core values at AlphaSights. Drive, result orientation, empathy, adaptability, and humility. So for the client server associate role, we always set ambitious goals, challenge ourselves, and also embrace a whatever it takes mindset. And then for us, we also set KPIs for our client server associate. All of our client server associate are motivated by like smashing through targets, delivering for our clients. They are all result oriented. And then empathy is also quite crucial for this role. Given that this is going to be a client facing role, you're going to manage quite a lot of stakeholders, not only clients, but also like internal stakeholders, experts. And then sometimes like, again, there might be a call got rescheduled unexpectedly. How would you handle the situation professionally and empathetically? We have to be empathetic to build the trust with our clients and also experts, just to make us like a successful partner. And then as a client server associate, you will be managing 6 to 8 projects per day. So the project that I just walked you through is one project, but then every client server associate is actually handling 6 to 8 simultaneously. So you must be adaptable, constantly thinking on your feet, and then being able to organize your time effectively. And then lastly, our associate, all of them are coming from a very strong academic backgrounds, always have like a hunger to learn, and then are eager to continue their growth as they progress in their career. So humility is also quite important. Basically for these 5 traits, we will use these 5 traits to decide whether or not you will be a good fit for this role and our company, and also a value for you to see whether you actually resonate with us and then think that this will be a good opportunity for you. And then next, maybe I would just ask you guys a very quick question. So as you can see here, language skills are highly desirable. So I just wonder, like, anyone here speak 2 languages or above? Maybe you can like react with emoji, 10 more. Okay, well, actually quite a lot. Wow, 13, 16. Okay, nice. So probably quite a lot of you actually speak a second language. And then, so the reason why I asked this question is because for AlphaSights, we do hire different language speakers. Okay, thank you so much for the thumbs up. And then for AlphaSights, we hire 9, like for Hong Kong office, we hire 9 different languages. And then, so the reason why we hire different language speakers is because we work on regional projects. There will be like, let's say Australian clients looking into Vietnamese market. Then you're going to speak English with the client side. And then if you do speak Vietnamese, then you will leverage your Vietnamese with the local experts, because not all the experts will be able to converse in English. So that's why we will need those kind of niche language speakers to join us in Hong Kong office. For other offices, we also hire different languages. As you can see from the screen, there's quite a lot of like different languages. So yeah, so it's good that you do speak a second language. It's gonna become in handy when you work with like regional experts or clients, and then you can leverage your language skills. So yeah, then I'm just going to also kind of walk you through a bit more about the client server associate role, as in like how do you apply, what's the benefits that you can get as a client server associate, and then also maybe show you a quick video of the Hong Kong office. So maybe to start with, I would just play the Hong Kong office tour video so you can get a sense like how's the work here in Hong Kong office. See if it plays or not.
Welcome to Hong Kong, a city alive with energy and opportunity. This is AlphaSights' Hong Kong office, our largest office in Asia with over 100 colleagues from more than 10 countries, working in multiple languages to support clients across Asia and beyond. This is where we connect global clients with the expertise they need to succeed. In our open workspace, the client service team works together to deliver insights to their clients. As a client service associate, you'll jump right in, own commercial results from day one in a fast-paced environment.
I'm helping a consulting client access insights into how medical technology devices are used in hospitals across China.
We also connect our clients to industry experts through a full suite of primary research products and services. Our client service teams partner closely with our surveys and research teams, coordinating outreach, refining questionnaires, and synthesizing findings to deliver timely, actionable insights to clients.
For question 3, let's rephrase it to avoid leading the expert. That will eliminate potential bias and give the client much clearer and more objective data.
Our teams use their diverse language skills to collaborate with clients globally, with tons of hands-on learning opportunities.
Halo, proyek Anda untuk terhubung dengan pakar di sektor kesehatan di Indonesia sudah siap.
Back on the 34th floor, our common areas host social events every week, giving colleagues the chance to unwind and connect at the end of the day. Our open, accessible cultural structure means leaders like Chris are always approachable.
And that's our Hong Kong office, a hub for collaboration and impact in one of the world's most exciting cities. Visit our website to start your journey with AlphaSights.
Great. So hope you enjoyed the videos. It's actually shot it like last year December, so it's quite new. And then exciting news is that we are actually opening a new floor on 35th floor. So now in total we have 3 floors in total. For 35th floor it's like half of it, so 2.5 floors now, because we're getting bigger and then we don't have enough seats now. And then it's actually a very exciting news because it proves that we do have more people and then like more projects to work on. There, our business is growing in Hong Kong as well. So yeah, that is the like office tour basically for those you haven't visited our Hong Kong office physically before. And then this is just like more a slide for you to know a bit more about the packages that we provide for the client server associate role. On the right there is a QR code for you to scan and apply for the role. And then as you can see down there, we hire for English, Mandarin, Bahasa Indonesia, Thai, Vietnamese, Hindi, Korean, Japanese, Tagalog speakers. And then if you do speak another language, do apply for that language specific role, because we do need like niche language speakers. If you only speak English, totally fine. You can apply for the English speaking one. And then for the salary package, then it's quite like straightforward. I already put it here. The 26K HAD is going to be your base salary. And then depending on your performance, there will be also like commission as well, uncapped commission. And then we also got work from home. We have like annual leaves, medical insurance, blah, blah, blah. So you can see it from here. And then if you are interested and then you are in your final year studies, you can actually already apply for next year intake. So we have 4 onboarding batch every year, January, April, July, and September. Depending on when you are graduating or when you are available, then you can join the relevant batch. Yeah, so that's the opportunity that we have here. And then I would just stop here for a bit before I move on to the application tips or interview tips about AlphaSights. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to just like ask now. Maybe I can take 2. Is Rashi also asking question, or is it more like when you are indicating you speak a second language? Because I I think okay, then I think I can answer Ayush question first.
Hi Samantha, this
Hi.
meeting is super engaging. First of all, I want to say that. So
Oh.
yeah. So my question is, if Tata wants to expand in EV market and they are our clients and they want to get in client details. So if we have to find that client on LinkedIn, specifically LinkedIn, so how can we find them?
As in you're finding a client or expert?
Expert, sorry, expert.
So you mean like if the client's reaching out to you about an EV market and then you
Yes.
want to look for the industry experts? I
Yes.
mean, if you are looking through LinkedIn, there will be like a platform called Sales Navigator. Basically, there are filters for you to put in, and then like you insert keywords. When you think about EV market, then what kind of keywords that pop up in your mind, and then what's like experience that you're looking for. Are you looking for a more junior person to talk about the role? Are you looking for a more senior person? Are you looking from a marketing perspective, or you're looking for like manufacturer perspective? So it really depends on what specific details that you are looking into. Then you need to think about the titles, you need to think about their years of experience, which area they are based in, and then like we also only look for employees, because usually we won't look for existing employee and that specific company, because they cannot really disclose anything directly related to their company. So we usually look for those who is already like left their company. So I would say this is a way that you can look for experts on LinkedIn. Again, I'm not the expert here. Definitely don't like, if you want to actually know a bit more, you can connect with the client server associate and then try to learn a bit more about how to look for experts. And then yeah, that's my answer to the question.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then Asha.
Hi.
Hey.
So my question is that if someone who has done like 2 years in associate client service role at AlphaSights and move into management consulting role, how do we like justify that we can come to consulting? Because I've seen some posts that people are not justifying that AlphaSight is in consulting role.
Wait, so you were saying that after being 2 years of associate, you want to move to a management consulting role? Then how are you going to transfer that?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, how are we going to justify that we are?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's my question.
yeah, I will just try to answer your question because I'm not too sure that I understand it fully. But basically, let's say if you really want to move beyond AlphaSights and then go for a management consulting role, the values that we have here in AlphaSights is more like developing your soft skills. So we're not like developing any like specific technical knowledge, because for technical knowledge, then there will be different industry that you are going to tap into every day. Then you technically will gain those kind of niche knowledge. But then what we value here is developing your soft skill like prioritization, project management, resilient, learning agility, your communication, negotiation, persuasion skills. So all this kind of soft skills you can like actually leverage in anywhere, no matter it's a management consulting role or you want to get into like a more technical role, even like an engineering role. There will be different kind of aspect of the role that needs you to leverage this kind of soft skills. And then I would say AlphaSights is actually a very good starting point for you to develop all that at once. Because again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, what you can do here in AlphaSights is taking ownership of projects. You will be the one like taking full responsibility of everything. Then in this kind of environment, it actually forces you to develop your soft skills. And then once you actually work here for a couple of years, or even like a year, then you can already have those skills developed, and then you can leverage that in anywhere else. So I mean, it's not going to be like more specific for you to, oh, I'm joining AlphaSights because I want to join a management consulting firm. Then I'm only going to develop management consulting firms like skill set, but it's more like for you to develop as a whole, and then like develop those soft skills for you to apply to anywhere else. I hope this answers your question. I'm not too sure whether I understand it correctly.
Yeah. That exactly answers my question. I have one last question. If may ask.
Yeah.
What background are you actually looking for when you are actually hiring fresh grads from universities, be it finance, supply chain, or business?
Yeah, so very great question. I also want to address that as well. So for this client server associate role, echoing what I just said earlier, we actually don't have any limitation on your major. So even you are coming from a technical background or a social science background, like psychology, journalism, engineering, you can still apply for the role, because what we value here is the soft skills that you have. We actually don't need you to have like technical skills. Like we don't need you to be very specialized in one specific industry, because at the end of the day, every day you're going to tap into different industry. We are not going to like rely on you as in like, oh, today we are working on fishing market, and then like let's say a random person, Rachel, can you just work on it because you have experience in fishing market? Everyone have to try it out, like as in if the project got assigned to you, then you have to work on it. So how are you going to work on it? You are going to leverage your soft skills in terms of like how you grasp information quickly, how you address the client request, how you manage the relationship. And then let's say you are doing the vetting calls and you need to grasp information from the experts. You need to convince them to work on a project with you. You need to like negotiate with them, persuade them. Then all of this actually requires soft skills instead of like technical skill. Technical skills you can gain it through like when you work on project, and then you can gain the technical knowledge along the way. So what we value here is more on the soft skills. So we don't have any limitation on your background. And then if let's say what stand out from other applicants will be more like from your extracurricular activities, from your internship, how you lead projects, how you overcome challenges, how you learn from a mistake. This will be something that we look for. So again, we don't really actually look into your CV and say like, oh, you're not business background, so I'm not going to consider you. It's more like if you have the soft skills and then you are someone that is result oriented, then you have you can apply for the role and being considered for the role as well. Great. So I will just move on to the next question. Felix, I think you also have one question.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, can hear you.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So I'm Felix. I'm originally from Indonesia, but I'm currently based in Taiwan, working as an international sales. And I noticed on these slides that there are different language specific roles.
Yeah.
Associate roles. And so like, does that mean we would mainly work with experts from that particular market, or we still have opportunities to work across different markets depending on the project? Thank you.
Yeah, so I would say actually depending on the project. So basically everyone here speak English. You will have the chance to work on English speaking projects. And then for the niche language projects, let's say you're from Indonesia, so I believe that you do speak Bahasa Indonesia. If there are Bahasa Indonesia like speaking projects coming in, then you will be the one handling it as well, because you are one of the people that can speak that language, and then you can handle the experts. But we won't say that because you speak Bahasa Indonesia, then you are only going to work on Bahasa Indonesia project. There will be exposure for you to work on other regional projects as well. And then especially like those English ones, because everyone can work on that. But then again, we will always prioritize you whenever there will be some like Indonesian based projects, because you do have the local insight and then also like being able to speak that language. But if we won't limit you to that specific pool. There will be chance that you will work on like any other English speaking project, maybe Singapore market, Australia market, even like for China and Hong Kong, there will be people who speak English. So there will be a chance that you work on those kind of projects. And then sometimes we also collaborate with regional office as well. So let's say London office and US office have like a project, and then they are trying to look into Singapore market, then you will help them out as well. So you will leverage your English as well. And then because for the US and London office, like associate, they won't be able to do vetting calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We are not going to force them to work outside working hour like that. That's crazy. So we will actually have our Hong Kong associate or like any associate like can cover that kind of time zone to work on that. So yeah, we do work on regional projects, and then you get the chance to work on like different diverse project and different industry as well. Great. And then, I mean, like for you, then you mentioned that you are studying in, you are currently based in Taiwan, then you probably do know some knowledge in Taiwan as well. So probably if there's a Taiwan related project, then you can work on it if they speak English. I don't know whether you speak Mandarin, but yeah, basically there will be chances that you can work on the regional projects as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great. And then one more question, and now we'll just move on to the interview tips. Sorry, please come here. Yeah.
Right. You can address me as Firsa.
Nice to
Right.
meet you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samantha. I was wondering, do you have any age requirement for this particular role? Because I'm not a fresh graduate. I did apply for this particular role in AlphaSights, but I didn't manage to get in at that time. And I'm currently running my startup. It's my 3rd year running in Indonesia. So does everybody has the equal opportunity?
Yeah, so yes, as long as you are over 18, in Hong Kong, the legal age is 18, then you can apply for the role. For AlphaSights specifically, we look for candidates that have 0 to 3 years working experience, because at the end of the day, this role is going to be an entry-level role. So we will open to more like fresh graduates or people with less working experience. But let's say you are really passionate about this role and then you don't mind starting over like as a entry-level associate, then you can still apply for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Because we do have example of people like having more experience joining us as a like client server associate, and then actually they can also do the job quite well because they are more mature, they have more experience, they probably have more like soft skills that they have, and then they are being able to leverage that in this role as well. So we don't have like any limitation as in like age limitation, and then so as long as you don't mind starting over, that is fine, because we don't hire managers or VP outside of the company. We'll all of them are promoted internally.
Okay, great. And how long? Sorry if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Just one more question.
Sure.
How long can we reapply if we didn't manage to get in?
So within 6 months, then you can. The cooldown period is 6 months. So let's say you got rejected today, and then you need to apply it. February. You need to apply in February, like so after 6 months.
So after 6 months, got it. Understood. Thank you very much.
If I do the calculation correctly, but anyways, yeah. So you can reapply 6 months later. Thank you for your question. So I will just stop answering question for now, and then I will move on to the next session because I'm going to overrun this session a bit. Great. So let me go back to the slides. Give me 1 sec. Great. So to start with, I can just quickly walk you through the interview process in AlphaSights. Let me just press them all out. Yeah. So it's very straightforward. If you are interested, then you can submit your resume to us, and that's the first step. You can scan the QR code that I provided earlier, and then basically you submit your resume, fill in some basic information, then we will review your resume. If we think that you're a good candidate, then we will either send you a phone interview invitation or like a video assessment. So it depending on like the capacity, then we will either send you either one, and then we would do a first round interview that will be like a proper interview with us with the TA team. So you might be doing it with me or my colleague, and then basically in that round we will be asking you some questions regarding your background, your career motivation, your understanding in the business, trying to see what you have accomplished in the past. And then if everything's go goes well, then we will move you to the second round interview, which will be a case study round. I feel like some of you are already in the second round interview because I feel like most of you are asking some technical questions. I'm not too sure, but basically for the second round interview, the client service manager is going to be the one leading the interview. We will send you a take-home case to work on it. And then during the second round interview, the manager is going to review the case that you completed and then give you some feedback on the first case, do a live case with you, and then they're also going to do a mock call with you. For the mock call itself, depending on what languages you apply to, then you are going to do the mock call in that specific language. That's how we test your language proficiency. So let's say you are a Thai and then you apply to the Thai speaking role. The second round interview will be mainly conducted in English, but then for the mock call, it's going to be in Thai. And then following that, there will be like a final round interview with the senior leadership team. That one will be similar to first round, but in a more in-depth way. They are going to ask you more follow-up questions, testing you a bit more about your motivation, why you want AlphaSights specifically, what's your drive, like why do you like what's the reason behind everything that you did in the past, trying to get to know you better as a person. And then finally, if we think that you are a suitable candidate, then we're going to extend an offer to you and have you to join us as the client server associate. And then you will join us in the 4 months that I just mentioned, January, April, July, or September next year if you apply this year. Yeah, so that's basically the interview process. And then I think the slides are a bit messed up, but anyways, I'm just going to press them all out. So before we actually wrap up, I can share maybe some interview tips. I hope it's helpful. Basically, just now you learn a bit more about AlphaSights and then the opportunities here, but the interviews can feel a bit intimidating sometimes, no matter where you apply, not only to AlphaSights, but other companies as well. So let's just spend a few minutes on some practical interview tips that will help you to stand out, and then whether with us or any other company. So first of all, interview go both ways. You are interviewing us just as much as we are interviewing you. So yes, you are there to impress us, but equally you are there to figure out if we are the right fit for you. Keep that mindset as we go through two common formats, which will be the behavioral one and the case interview. So in a behavioral interview, we want to understand who you are and how you handle situation in the past. So hiring managers look for three things. First, your career aspiration. We think back to like all the internship that you did, all the group projects, all the extracurricular activity like student association roles. What did you actually enjoy doing? And then find the common things between those kind of moments and then the role that you want. That's your why. You try to link them all together. Secondly, your career narrative. So answer the question, why you are the good fit for the role. So before the interview, try to write down all the top skills that you have, prepare some specific examples that prove each one. So let's say you think that your communication is really good, then what kind of previous experience and proof that you have good communication skills? Maybe like, oh, you successfully negotiate with a vendor from your student association experience, and then you can try to articulate it, and then being able to showcase that your communication skills is actually there. So don't sell yourself short. This is the moment for you to stand out. Thirdly, is knowing the firm inside out. That's mean like our business model, the mission, the vision, the values. We basically cover some of that today. So try to do some research ahead of the interview, try to understand a bit more about the company. Usually you can find it on like company website or like their LinkedIn, or you can actually go and look at their employees profile. And then, as in LinkedIn profile, and then you can get a sense how they talk, how they work, something like that. So I think you can do some research ahead of the interview. It's quite important as well. And then for the case study round, it's just more like a simulation of real business problems you will solve in the role. So we are looking for business acumen, learning agility, and problem solving skills. How to prepare, understand the business model thoroughly, read all the materials that is sent to you, and then reach out to the current associate for a coffee chat. Just like what I mentioned earlier, they have been where you are, so try to reach out and get some tips from them. And then lastly, structure and practice your stories. Give more context, explain how you solve the problem, and then also share the outcome as well. So now then we can go into a very useful framework. I think everyone here kind of know it, but then it's really important to actually go through it together. So it's actually the STAR method. And then before I actually continue with the slides, I noticed that my laptop is actually like going to die soon, so I'm going to charge my laptop. So just bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to charge my laptop. Okay, sorry, that's a bit chaotic, but yeah, anyways, so STAR method, any one of you heard about this before? Can you give me an emoji? Any emoji? Okay, thumbs up, nice. So technically, I think most of you heard about it, but then basically, I'm just going to walk you through a bit. So when the interviewer asks you a past experience, then you can try using this structure. There will be 4 components: STAR, situation, task, action, and result. So for the situation, basically you need to explain what was happening, where you were, and then what challenge you face. For the task, then you will need to clarify your specific responsibility or the goal within the situation. And then for the action, you need to describe the exact steps that you took to solve the problem, and then focus on your contribution rather than the teams as a whole. So sometimes I think during my interview with the candidates, they will say like, oh, my team and I work on this. I want to know a bit more from your side. So it's better for you to actually tell me a bit more what's your specific responsibility. And then like for our result, it's very obvious, like share the outcome of the actions, and then like use concrete numbers, metrics, or positive feedback that you receive from maybe your supervisor wherever is possible. It's also okay that you use like example outside of work. So sometimes when we ask you like, oh, how you overcome challenge in the past, sometimes some candidates will limit their answer to their working experience only. So if they cannot think of any, they will just say, oh, actually, I cannot think of any, or I don't actually have that kind of example. But you can actually leverage maybe part-time jobs that you have, projects that you worked on against student association, even your personal life. As long as you can relate it back to the question, it's gonna be fine. So yeah, that's basically how you can leverage the STAR framework. There's another framework that I actually find it quite useful. It's similar to the STAR method, but it's called Parla. I'm not too sure. This is quite not too famous, but I really do like this kind of framework. Maybe you guys can search it up after this interview. It's PARLA. Yeah, not sure if you guys heard of it, but personally, I prefer this more than STAR. It's problem, action, result, learning, and application, because it also covers like what's your learning from this particular experience and how you can apply to the future settings, because we always want you to relate it back to the role that you're applying to. So if you guys are interested, you can have a look at it after this recruitment talk. It's going to help your interview, no matter it's within AlphaSights or outside AlphaSights. Okay, and then to sum it up, basically, these are the few checkboxes I think you need to check it if you are doing an interview. First of all, do your research. We basically need you to research for the company, the role that you're applying, mission, values, is all on their website. And don't forget to maybe check Glassdoor to for some interview tips, or maybe even like some recruiters will post on their LinkedIn, or some marketing posts that actually cover those kind of details. Then you can learn a bit more from there. And then secondly, review any materials that's sent to you. Recruiters often send you things to help you out. And then also maybe like this kind of recruitment talk, we're trying to help you out to apply for the company, apply for the role. And then for us, AlphaSights, we actually include like a interview guide in PDF format, and also videos in the interview scheduling email. It's not too obvious. We are not doing this on purpose, but then that's the only way that we attach the interview guide. Sometimes the candidate might miss it because they didn't really thoroughly read through the email. So to all of you, make sure that you go through every single email that's sent to you. Try to catch anything that is included in the email. And then if we do include those kind of materials in the email, make sure that you go through it. We will ask about that in the interview. And then thirdly is take a guess what might be asked. Look up some common question on LinkedIn or Google. Try to write down the ones that you think is relevant for the role, you can prep for it. What I personally do is actually like run a mock interview with AI. So I was telling them, oh, I'm interviewing for ABC company for this role, and then now that you are interviewer, then how are you going? What kind of question that you are going to ask me? Then I will tell them my answer, and then they will give me some feedback. So this is some way that you can practice with your interview skills, or even do it with your friends. If you think that AI is too like I don't know, maybe it's just like not warm enough, then you can do it with your friends or family. And then fourth is that I think it's also the most important one, rehearse your response out loud. So maybe you are doing with AI, then you're just typing your answer, right? Then you actually have to read it out, try to practice it, looking at the mirror, and then try to be aware of how you present it. Because sometimes you might not notice there might be some movements that you are doing. You keep showing your hands like this. I don't know, this is kind of weird, but maybe you guys are doing this in the interview, then it's quite weird to do it. So try to avoid that and try to practice yourself with the mirror. It's gonna be quite awkward at first, but then when you try to train your brain and then actually say the word out under pressure, it's gonna be quite good practice for you. And then finally, at the end of the interview, usually the recruiter would ask you like, hey, do you have any questions for us today before we wrap up? Then you can come prepared with 1 to 2 thoughtful answers. This shows genuine interest. Try not to ask those questions that you can easily find online, maybe like, oh, what's the salary package? For AlphaSights, we're quite transparent about it. We already listed in our recruitment talk. Or you're asking like, oh, what's the career path here? You can also search that online. So come with more like thoughtful question and actually being able to show that, oh, you thought about this role and then you are genuinely interested in this role. So before the interview, run through this checklist, and then it's very simple, and then it actually works as well. Great. So I'm not too sure where are you guys based in. Maybe you can show me an emoji of your of the country that you're currently staying in this Google Meet. Like, where are you currently based in? Taiwan, Thailand, India. Well, there's a lot of it's the same one. Indonesia, Japan. Great. So we do have quite a lot of people. And it's actually quite late in our working in our time zone as well. I know that's like for now it's 9 p.m. in Hong Kong, and I'm sure that it's also quite late in your time zone. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. And then I really appreciate that you guys spend time with us, even though it's quite late or even early in your time zone. Hong Kong, nice. So I'm going to share some like not tips, but basically what you can expect if you come to Hong Kong. So basically for this client server associate role, we do sponsor visa. And then no matter where you're based in, if you are interested in joining AlphaSights Hong Kong, then we will sponsor visa. Just be mindful that for other offices, they don't sponsor visa, only the Hong Kong one sponsor. So if you are interested in relocating or exploring a new country, then you can try to come to Hong Kong and then join this role. So this is more like for you, for your reference, because I think quite a lot of candidates might be quite hesitant to join Hong Kong because they don't know about what to expect. So I just listed down here like what's the monthly expense that you can expect in 1 month, and then like also what kind of activities that you can do in Hong Kong. So for AlphaSights, we sponsor your visa, and then yes, Dubai also sponsor visa, but it's just for some specific language. It's not for all languages. So for AlphaSights Hong Kong, we sponsor all languages and all people. Yeah, great. So going back to the slides, around each month, then you will spend around 12K to 16K. And then if you remember earlier, we showed you the base salary is 26K, then it's more than enough to cover the monthly expenses, and then you can save up money as well. And then given that there will be commission if you achieve your KPI, so it's gonna be more than that. And then for leisure and activities, I'm actually a home person, so I don't go out that much. But basically for Hong Kong, there are so many fun things that you can do. From like my friends here in AlphaSights, I call them my friends because they are my friends. But you can expect that when you join AlphaSights, you meet a bunch of good friends because you're gonna join AlphaSights together with batchmates. So there will be a group of people joining together with you. So they will become your close friends. But anyways, they will go on hikes on weekends. They are going to different hikes. There's actually, I was so surprised, even though I'm a Hong Kong local, they were like, every single week they go on a different hikes. I was like, is there that many mountains here in Hong Kong? But yeah, they would just go on different places. And then there are so many different authentic places that you can go as well. There are beaches, there are like cafes. If you are more like an indoor person, there were so many museums, so many good shopping malls as well. And then of course, if you're a home person, then you can also stay at home. But then basically, if you want to explore like some outdoor activities, there's a lot that you can do in Hong Kong. But yeah, if you are interested, you can contact me on LinkedIn. I can tell you a bit more about it, but maybe I'm not the best person to tell you because I'm the home person. But anyways, this is just like a quick overview for you all. And then just quickly show you again this slide about like the opportunity available here in AlphaSights. So if you're interested, you can just scan this QR code and apply for it. And then for the relocation, I can also tell you a bit more. Basically, we sponsor your visa, and then we will also, if you are not based in Hong Kong and then you don't study in Hong Kong, we will fly you from your home country to Hong Kong. That's the flight ticket that we include, and also like 2 weeks of accommodation when you first join, when you first come here to AlphaSights. But moving forward, then you have to find your own accommodation. But then to help you adapt to the Hong Kong life, then we will help you to book for 2 weeks of accommodation, and then you can stay there for 2 weeks. That's what we include in the relocation. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to cover for all the things I want to cover today. And then this is my LinkedIn. If you guys want to ask any questions beyond this recruitment talk, feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. I will try my best to answer all the questions on LinkedIn. And then yeah, and if you want to join maybe some upcoming events, there will be some other events as well available in the future. Then you can keep an eye out on my LinkedIn. I will update there as well. So now I would just leave you guys to ask any questions you have. And then I think we will wrap up the session at 9:20, like 6 minutes later. So I will have like some time for you to ask questions. Maybe for now, Asha again.
Hi, so Samantha, we know that how do we attract the experts, but how does AlphaSight attract the clients?
So technically for AlphaSights, we do have a fixed base of clients because usually they are big firms, and then they are like kind of always come to us. I cannot name the clients to you because it's confidential, but you can imagine like all those big firms, those top consulting firms, top PE firms, they are our clients. So we don't proactively like go to them, they come to us. But sometimes we also kind of do BD as well, but that will be more like VP's responsibility or manager responsibility. Sometimes they will go to like different areas and look for new opportunities, but we do have fixed base, and then there are lots of projects that will be allocating to you, and then there will be like actually so many projects that you can work on. Then we don't have to worry about, oh, what if there's no client? There will be projects assigned to you, so we don't have to stress out about that part. Okay, nice. Spruti?
Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, how many people do you intake per like hiring basis or per role?
So it depends on the language. So for AlphaSights Hong Kong, I think next year we are hiring for around 50 more associates to join our Hong Kong office. 50.
Okay, thank you. Another thing, could you just quickly give me a summary for the first, like the project slide? Because I unfortunately missed it. If I could just take a project, yeah, the run through.
Maybe I can walk you through later because most of them already heard about it, and then I will just cover it at the end so I don't take up their time as well. I will answer that. Remind me, by the way, I might forget. Okay, so Ayush.
So my question is, how do we stand out in an interview?
How do you what?
How do we stand out in an interview?
Oh, stand out in the interview. I think it's not really about standing out from the interview. It's more about like how you present yourself. I think basically if you are able to show that you are someone that is result oriented, and then like showing that you do want to like develop a career with us, and then showing that through maybe like, oh, telling us a bit more about like why do you want to join a company, what kind of skill set that, what kind of specific skill set that you want to gain from this role, and then like being able to showcase that in your previous experience, then it's gonna be like sufficient enough. So I don't think you have to care about also how can I compete with other candidates. It's more like how much you fit into the role. Because for us, we are hiring on a rolling basis. We won't say like, oh, we're waiting for couple of more candidates to interview with us, then we decide which one to offer. If we see you a fit, then we will offer you right away. So it's more about whether you fit into the AlphaSights value and company. So again, just like go through, I mean, not go through, but like think about the things that I cover in this interview, the values that we uphold, try to resonate yourself with those values, and then try to leverage as many examples that you can that relevant to the skill set or the values that we uphold here, then it should be all right. Okay. I have to leave first because of some personal. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. And then is there any other questions? Asha, do you still have questions? Oh no. Okay, nice. Then hi now. Sorry, I'm super bad at pronouncing people's names. So how to pronounce it? Yeah, I can hear you well. Oh, hi. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Um, yeah, for sure. I can answer that. So basically commercial awareness is more about like whether you know about like what kind of service that we provide here, and how can we help our clients. Of course, we are not going to expect you to know everything about it, because at the end of the day, again, this is not a technical role, but then we do expect a certain level of understanding about like what kind of clients that we work with, what's their value proposition, their value proposition, and then like how can we help out through for their process. So I think this is just like more a very general understanding about the clients that we work with, and then also as in like distinguish us from maybe a consulting company, and then how we are different from other companies as well, as in like the business that we deliver. So I think this is some things that we expect, and it's more like related to commercial awareness. It actually depends. For my previous experience with the candidates, I think there would be some candidates might lack of communication skills, like they cannot really articulate what they want to say. But it's actually quite important for this role, because given that this role is going to be communication based, you have to talk to experts every day. You have to clearly articulate your thoughts, and then also being able to receive that information as well. because then you will be the one to actually figure out like whether this expert is a good fit. So there might be a chance like the candidate is not good at communication, or the candidate is not driven enough, because we want people that is like result oriented, have like a whatever it takes mindset, and then maybe like in their previous experience they cannot showcase that, or even they did not tell us in the interview, they did not provide example with it. So again, going back to the things that I covered earlier, you really have to try to come up with example and then try to leverage the opportunity that the interviewer give to you. Like when they ask you a question, try to leverage the example in that specific questions, and then help the interviewer to understand a bit more. Because to be honest, like just looking at the resume, they might not know what you were doing. So you are the one responsible for telling me about what you were doing in your previous experience. So try to like actually come prepared for the interview, and then come up with stories and example to showcase that. So I couldn't say like I can give you like one particular area that the candidate is lacking of. So there will be different kind of areas, because we do look into different aspects of a person and to see whether they are the right fit. But yeah, there will be communication, there will be like result oriented, or whether they are reflective enough about their previous mistakes, as in like because there will be quite a lot of learning opportunities in AlphaSights, and then there will be times that like your manager and trainers is giving you feedback, whether you're receptive to it, whether you are willing to learn, willing to reflect on yourself, take the responsibility as well, not blaming external factors. This might be something that we also, I mean, not might be, we actually like assess that as well. So there will be different aspects that we will take into account. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you. Hi. Great. So any other questions? Let me just check the the chat box as well. If there's no other questions, I would just go back and walk through the project slightly. Again, could you share how long does it take to hear back after the final round? So in every single stage, no matter it's like between first round, second round, your CV to phone screen, usually it takes around 2 to 3 business days. On effort, like typically it takes around 2 to 3 business days, unless there are some like urgent things happening, or like the interviewers is out of town, then we might delay the process a bit. But then usually it's gonna be 2 to 3 days. After you do your final round interview, we'll let you know. And then let me check. Okay, thank you, Hanan. And I think that's pretty much it. If I missed your question, you can just like raise your hand again. If not, then that's pretty much it. Thank you so much again for joining me today for the recruitment talk. And then if it's quite late in your hour, wishing you a good night. And then for those who just kickstart your morning, good morning to you all. Hope you have a good start of your day. And then yeah, feel free to leave this meeting. I'm just going to walk through the project again, so you don't have to hear it again. But yeah, thank you again for everyone's time. And then just contact me on LinkedIn if you have any other further questions. Just drop me a message, and I will be able to get back to you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so let's go back to the project.
Thank you so much for doing this, Samantha. I know I'm taking up more of your time.
Yeah, no worries. Happy to do so. Just gonna be quick. Everyone else can go if you. It's gonna be the same thing. You don't have to stay. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so basically for the projects that we work on, it's gonna be quite similar. Although you're going to work on different industry, but then we follow a very similar framework for each project. So to kickstart the project, we will receive a client brief, and then basically they will be telling you like, oh, what industry I'm looking into, how many experts I want to find, and then would you be able to deliver this by a certain timeline. So something similar to this, I just use like a bubble tea example, is quite general. I mean, there will be different kind of industry that you work on. This is just one example. And then let's say they are looking into Malaysia and China market, then you will be the one try to recruit for experts. So you will go to like either to our internal system or some other external platforms to look for the experts. And then let's say you find two relevant experts that are Tea Alive, Mr. Binchen. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this kind of boba tea provider, but one is actually in Malaysia, one in China. And then you will pitch this profile to the client. So what you're going to do is actually write a summary of that expert. So you call them and then try to identify whether they are the right fit, right? And then let's say they are, then you write a profile saying that, oh, this experts have a certain year of experience. They do have knowledge in this area, they talk about this, and then you will send it to the client, and then the client will see whether they want to do a call with them. And then sometimes when you send back the profiles to the client, they might suddenly change their brief and then say like, hey, I'm actually no longer looking into both markets. I'm only looking into Malaysia. So for the Chinese experts, like the Mr. Binchen one, then it's no longer relevant. Then you have to actually look for other experts because the client is looking for five experts. So you already secure one, then you actually need to look for more experts to kind of satisfy the client's need. But then usually instead of like going to find only 4 additional one, we're actually going to find more because at the end of the day, the client might not know whether they need more experts. So you're going to find more for them. Like you can pitch 10, 11, 12, and then just to see whether the client want to take it or not. And then after like navigating the changing of client brief, then you are going to pitch it to the client might take it, and then they might set up like 8 calls with the experts. Then basically that's how you do, like how you work on a project. You source for the experts, you talk to the experts, and then you connect them with the client. And then there will be times that like basically you wrap up work at 6:30, right? And then there will be time that the client will reach out to you outside of working hour. We don't require you to like work actively. You can just basically quickly reply to that email and then tell them, oh, I already have some express secure for you. These are the profiles. And then for others, then you can actually pass to our global associate. Those are not working in Hong Kong time zone, and then they will be able to take over from there. So yeah, basically that's how you work on a project. In AlphaSights, we call it BREAD framework: brief, recruit, engage and assess, and also delivery. So it's just basically what I just walked you through: receiving the brief, recruit for experts, and then E&A is engage and assess. Like you need to personally call the experts and vet them and see whether they're the right fit by asking probing questions. And the delivery is basically closing up the project by setting up consultation call. So this is how we work on projects.
Got it, Samantha. Thank you. That was really informative. Just a quick question. So when we get maybe the case interview for the second round, would we be expected to maybe structure our presentation this way?
Yeah, actually it's gone. We don't expect you to do so, but then we do ask you some questions relevant to the BREAD framework, because I think this also covered in the interview guide that we sent you. And then we will basically ask you, okay, so now that you find these 2 experts, then what are you going to do next? Then you need to leverage that framework to help you like kind of like basically tell what you're going to do next, because it actually lists down the process, right? So there will be a chance that they will ask you about it, but you don't have to present it that way, because the interviewer will be the one asking you questions, like asking you like, why do you think this expert is a good fit? Do you happen to know what clients we work with? Why do you think this client need to reach out to us? What stage are they currently in, as in they're helping their own clients? Are they doing due diligence, blah, blah, blah. And then also, like, why do you think this expert is a good fit while other experts is not a good fit? So they will ask you this kind of questions. So you don't have to necessarily frame your answer in that specific framework, because maybe they are asking you something else. But the interview is also like kind of test you whether you know about this process, because they expect you to already remember there is a framework called BREAD, and then you are going to like proactively leveraging that in your answers.
Got it. Thank you so much for taking the time again. I know it's really late at night for you.
Yeah, no worries. If you have any questions, you can just let me know on LinkedIn. And then, yeah, happy to explain it to you. And thank you for your time as well. And then I think I still got one more question from Hai. So you mean like, is that possible? Is it possible to? Mm. So actually, like there will be chances that you cannot find the exact person that we expect you to look for. It's totally, I mean, it's not totally fine, but then basically it's okay because we won't just ask you to look for the experts and then we see whether it's the right fit and then we determine whether you can pass the interview. It's not about the result. It's more about like your thinking process. Like, why do you think this expert is a good fit, and why do you reach out? Like, why do you find this kind of profile at first? If you are able to explain your rationale and then it actually have like a business sense, then it's all right. Because there's no right or wrong in terms of like finding the exact expert. As long as you can explain your rationale and then it makes sense, it's fine. So sometimes maybe like there will be 2 to 3 experts that can speak on the same topic, but there's no 100% correct in terms of finding the expert. So if you are able to explain your rationale, and then they will ask you follow-up questions as well. If they think that the expert is not a good fit, then they will ask you follow-up question. And then if you are able to explain your rationale and then also answer it and then reflect on what you did, then it's all right. Because ultimately what we test on is your ability to think on the spot, and then also like your learning agility as well. So if you're able to leverage the feedback that they've given to you, then it's actually fine, I would say. Okay, great. So thank you again. I don't know why there's still 13 people here, but I will just leave the meeting in 30 seconds if there's no other questions. But thank you again for joining this session. Just let me know if you have any question after the interview, if you are not comfortable asking here. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice